starting right on a system that will have longevity.
It comes down to billing and records.
Essentially, you're creating double work.
Hello, everybody. Today, with a new version of the Wise Bites, I'm starting this session here myself because I'm going to be interviewing my team. And the idea for those of you out there who are on the fence and have questions or curiosity about how things actually happen before you pull the trigger in a new software and after how the implementation go, here I brought the best of our team that can, we're going to chat about our most frequent questions and how we handle situations, so you're going to have the real deal. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
So
Hello.
we have here Rachel, Kami, and Lindsay. How are the day treating you guys today?
Oh, you know what? Doing pretty good. I don't know how it is. I mean, it doesn't look as bright and sunny as yours does. I can tell you that. Mine's a little windy and cold where I am here in Texas, but we're hanging in there. It's getting to be fall.
It's one of those
Yes,
advantages when we have the
yes.
remuda, so we can travel, all over the country and pick the best weather, so we
Yeah.
can do
Yes.
two things at the same time.
Absolutely.
Yes, very lucky. I'm in a sweater here up north. So it's been past sweater weather. So
Yes.
it's heater on the floor weather now at this point.
Yes.
So yes. Well, thanks for having us here, Eduardo. Excited to kind of talk about this process. It's a big concern and question that many
Yes.
people have.
So I will start off just saying, you guys have been dealing with our prospects who then become our good friends and people we work on a continuous basis. What are usually the hurdles and the hesitation our prospects have before becoming one of our partners?
I mean, I think we can each go through probably a laundry list of items, but I'll pick one of my top ones that comes to mind, and that is kind of precedence. That comes to mind. A lot of people, this is not their first time picking a software, right? This is probably their second, third, fourth, sometimes fifth or sixth time. The experiences they have previously, right, and the negative experiences that they have previously, and in their minds, and kind of roadblocks for not only them but for their team as well. When looking at a new software, oftentimes it brings them right back to where they were with their previous softwares, and those feelings come up and sometimes get brought into, right, a new conversation, which again is very natural. It happens, I think, to all of us, but it can be hard to look at something with a completely open mind when you have, right, those negative experiences in the past.
So there's a bias.
Yeah, absolutely. I think everyone can appreciate that.
Which brings to the attention that I have. I always try to emphasize and somewhat incentivize prospects out there to start as early as possible, not knowing that we have plans for small business as well and incentives. Starting right on a system that will have longevity with your growth. I think it's one of the problems because nobody likes migration, right? And the migration is the big. Would you say the same, Lindsay? That it's the same problem you have sometimes with bias from other experiences?
Absolutely. And then kind of just to even counter that on the opposite side, I have those that they've been in the same software for a long time, or they've had paper. It's just been paper and binders for a long time. They don't even know what a software move even looks
There's
like.
also that, true.
What can I even expect? This seems so unknown and foreign and scary because I don't even know what to expect. And so there's the opposite of not that kind of that first step. To take that first step, I think can be really, really nerve-wracking to then the opposite side of the spectrum with those, especially those that have, like I said, moving from a primarily paper system. They don't even know necessarily what the questions to ask to make this possible. And that's where, we can bring that experience of, okay, we've done these before. Here are the common questions. Here are the common things. Here is a plan. Here is something that you can expect, and and we're going to be provide that type of experience. Yes.
Taking that, hook you just said, I'd like to play this game before and after. So this is before. How it is for those who pull the trigger and did after. I would like to hear not only good cases, but also the surprises they have. Of course, good ones, I believe, most of the time because they stick around. But the misconceptions and the realities. What would you say it is the reality and how they react?
Yeah, on my side, and again, taking off of what I said, right on, maybe a facility that has experience with multiple software migrations, and this is like their second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time doing this. And that in some ways, right, it can, playing devil's advocate a little bit, right, it can be a benefit to that facility as well too, because they have been through so many. They know what things work really well, and they have things about their previous systems that they liked, right? I would hope that we didn't just hate everything about our previous system, right? But we have those key things of this is why it doesn't work for us, right? And hopefully if we've done our homework, right, and in talking with that partner, about what their goals are and why their current system doesn't work, that we can address those in our solution, right? So looking on the implementation side then of that same sort of partner, right, when they come in on the implementation, oftentimes they are actually more prepared than they think they are because this isn't their first rodeo. They do, right? Although, we like to think that, I mean, we do have a number of features and, we are on the higher end of, when it comes to our features and our support and our structure. So we have a lot of really cool features maybe they hadn't seen before, but the basic structure, right, is the same. It comes down to billing and records, and obviously everything looks a little differently, but I think they get a little comforted and they see stuff that looks familiar. And when they can match and say, oh, that's like this in our old system, or that's like this, like how we used to do that. Okay. And then it helps, we start bridging that gap, right, in the knowledge base between the two. And then things don't look as scary, right, when we break it down into its components and say, yes, we call things differently and we have different features and that hopefully will make your business run better. But essentially, right, it comes down to billing and records at the end of the day, and how we can break that down for them during that implementation process and walking their staff through that. So that's kind of the positive there and some of the things I've seen there on the implementation side of those same businesses.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I can add some feedback as well. I think one of the things that I see, especially on the one that I had mentioned, where this is new and this is foreign, or it's a new business or something like that. They don't know what to expect. Being able to, they'll come up with things. Oh, this report is something that I needed. This data that is something that I needed, but I didn't know I needed it until at this point in the implementation, and just being able to have those discussions and change our course a little bit. Okay, this workflow that we tried, let's change our course. Let's try this workflow with your team. I think that's something that, I think is a misconception as far as being flexible in your ideas to make a pivot one way or another to best fit your team. And so I think that's another thing that is probably a misconception as well. And then I'll also mention the kind of the leadership when undertaking a decision and a move like this is having kind of some leadership behind your team. Someone on the facility side that is a leader in this. Hey, I'm going to be able to kind of take a role as an intermediary between Wise Option and our facility and be able to listen to everybody's concerns there. And that way, if there's leadership there, then we can just help make decisions that works best for that team. So those are two things that I think people don't think about when they come. They think about, moving over, learning how to use the system. They don't think about maybe the psychology behind it and the flexibility and adaptability behind it.
How about costs, Kami? What would you say that people are usually, I believe cost is one of the question marks. What do you face on the financial side?
I hear a lot of questions on, okay, we like these features that you're offering to us. This sounds really great, but how much is this going to cost me? So, really, when you're thinking about cost, there's a few things to think about as a business owner. How much time am I putting into this? How much effort am I putting into this? If you're perhaps someone that's using paper and pen, you're doing double work. You're writing it down, then you're going back, possibly putting it into a billing system. You've got to bill your clients somehow, whether that is paper or you're putting it in somewhere else. So essentially, you're creating double work for yourself. So something that costs applies, in my opinion, is not only the monetary value, but also your time and your staff and your stress. So if we're able to just bill out of one system, you only have to bill one time. That eliminates all that extra stress, that headache, staying after, staying late after you've already worked a full day, and then you still have to do billing for 3 hours every night
Mm,
for a week or so to get ready for month end building. That just seems like crazy to me. So I feel like you're right. Cost is a big factor, but I guess it depends on your point of view on what cost means to you, not only
I love
monetary, but time and effort.
I love that because
Absolutely.
basically
Hmm.
what you're saying is maintaining the status quo is costly as well. So I love
Yeah.
your perspective on this. So today
Hmm.
was basically us warming up the engines for this topic. We're going to stop here because I don't want this to be a long thing. But we are going to have another one talking about the same topic. The next time, I'm going to talk about the don'ts, things that don't go well when we have an implementation without planning. So I'm going to stick here for now. Thank you for watching. Guys, thank you for coming. I hope to see you
Thanks,
guys soon
everyone.
again.
Talk soon,
Thanks,
everybody.
Thank
Eduardo.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.